One of the main things is really around strategy. I think that the product managers really need to understand what the vision of the product is. And there's a lot of different terminology that's out there. Like when we talk about vision or strategy, I think you could definitely you could say a lot of different ways. Let's just put it that way. But I think understanding what the end goal is really for the project or the engagement or the product allows that product manager to really help kind of set the tone for why we're doing things and keep people on track, right? And I think that is very much related to how you focus on prioritization. And so that focus on prioritization is dependent on you understanding what is really important and not urgent. And I think that's maybe something I was just, I follow a lot of different subreddits about product management. And so there's just one where someone wrote an article about kind of like how to do prioritization within product management. And I think they had a lot of really great points. One of the points that made me bristle a little bit is look at the thing that's on fire or like the broken foot. And the reality is that I think that may be a recipe for doing things that are urgent rather than important. And that is something that I think bad product managers will focus on the urgent, not the important. And so, yes, your foot may be broken, right? And so the first inclination is to put it in a cast. But maybe you're still in a situation like a bear attack where you should get out of the way. And so, like, I think that's the thing that I worry about, is that being too focused on kind of fixing one little thing that's really, really right now, you're sidestepping all of the world of possibility of how to fix it the right way. And maybe not even the right way. Maybe that's maybe getting too much to the point that you know everything, right? Because you don't. But it's more about trying to take a step back and understand how this plays in the context of the project overall. And so that strategy really helps create that rubric for understanding what is important. And then that prioritization aspect really is that part that you're focusing on as the product manager. So I'd say those two things are really key. I mean, there's many skills. Like I think there was a book that Microsoft Press came out with around like 2007 that was about program management. And the first chapter was interesting because on one page, they had essentially like 30 different attributes about like a good program manager, but product manager in reality. And they had it not only it was two columns. And so on one side of the column, it would be something like they're very detail oriented, right? But then it would said on the other side, and also they can see the big picture, right? And then the one below it was something like, they worry about right now, and also they worry about the future. And so it's like there's 30 times 2 attributes, because maybe let me take a step back here. But what I'm trying to say is that product management is about a lot of different things, but it's also a lot about the duality within those things. So being able to understand something like strategy is really important, but now being able to apply it to the prioritization of what we're doing this week, I think, is that duality, right? So you're looking at this very long-term understanding of what's supposed to happen, and you're applying it to today, versus doing breadth type of search things versus deep dive types of things. This is probably where I've seen product managers that are not as technical do an amazing job because they're able to ask the right types of questions, and they know whether to dive deep or broad. Depending on the conversation. And so again, it's that duality within product managers that I think good product managers embrace that duality, right? They embrace this fact that they're always going to be thinking about near and far, today and tomorrow, that type of stuff. And I think getting too caught up in one or the other of those things, I think, makes you a bad product manager, right? Like if you always just focus on the now, you lose sight of what you have to do tomorrow. So anyways, I think the example that I think is most important, though, is that strategy versus prioritization. But you could go down the list on anything that a product manager should be able to do, and I think you'll find that type of duality is really important.